Let's get our first guest on the line. I don't know if no one's said anything in the comments, so you've not noticed anything different in the set tonight that might give away who's the first guest? Eh? Can't imagine where there's a giveaway on the first guest. Honestly, can't. Let's go. Love this guy.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Menno.
John, how's it going?
Good, thank you. Welcome. And I appreciate your time in advance, but welcome to Live from My Bachelor Pad, episode 11.
I couldn't be more honored.
So I know that just to be clear, because I don't like trying to pretend, that whole radio thing, and you know this from all your years of all the bands and the label and everything, which we'll dive into in a minute, but you know this from, you have that sort of setup, you get to a station, you walk in, you get in a cup of tea or something, you're walking down the corridor, you have a chat, and then a DJ tries to recreate that chat, and it's just not the same when you're on the air. You're like, yeah, that was a funny one 10 minutes ago, yeah?
Yeah, totally. You try and do the joke again and it's just not even close to the same.
So, exactly. So to be clear to everyone watching right now, you caught me off guard when I was smoking one about an hour ago to check in and just said, what's the flow? And I was West Coast I talked your face off for 5 minutes, went, yeah, I've got graphics, man, and I've got like this laptop and I've got like
and
keys.
And then I made some joke and you're like, don't do any more jokes. We're saving them all.
Yes, I did say that.
Yeah. But I used my one good joke, so sorry if there's no good any other ones.
No, we'll be good. So let's just sort of set the scene firstly on where you're at and honestly and genuinely, as much as you're willing to open up and share how you are.
So where I'm at is sitting on my couch in Toronto playing a hell of a lot of guitar. I'm trying to get good at guitar. And that might seem like a stupid self-deprecating thing to say if like from a person who's played in bands his entire life as a guitar player. But I'm actually not that good at it, and I'm treating this like a time to like, you know, sit down with a guitar for 3 or 4 hours a day and, you know, really learn the instrument that I've claimed to play for the last 20 years. So that's a really, really nice thing about this. And besides that, you know, trying to stay sane, hanging out with a lot of friends over the internet and doing stuff like this that didn't exist before.
I think 2 comments on that is, number one, I initially, yes, to be honest with you, and you didn't see that, I was cheekily going, oh, come on, man. But no, absolutely. We're always in a moment of growth, and you may have been, and this is what will lead us probably into many, many things. It's always, there's never a wrong time to try and continue to hone your craft and grow and expand. And certainly from what you've been doing the last few years, it's apparent that that's the case with the offshoot of the solo project and Anyway Gang that we'll get into. But what have you sat down? Has there been a key purpose? Like, okay, I want to get better, but what was the first thing that you wanted to work on guitar wise?
Oh, good question. Well, like, you know, so Nixon from Colorado is one of the greatest guitar players that I've ever seen play. And I'm not just saying that to be nice or toot my own band's horn, my own ex band's horn. It's a fact, and I've had the pleasure of like playing beside him for almost. I mean, I've known Nixon since I was 13 or 14, and he was like 9 or 10, something like that. Like I actually gave him guitar lessons when he first moved onto my street.
No way.
I taught him how to play. Yeah, that's how we met. He moved down the street, and he moved from Hong Kong, and he was this violin prodigy. And he wanted to learn how to play guitar, and his parents talked to my parents, and like, oh yeah, Menno plays guitar, and I was 15. I knew how to play "Smoke on the Water," you know. So Nick came over, and like, yeah, I showed him an E chord, and I showed him a C chord, and I showed him the cool riff of "Smoke on the Water," and you know, within a year, he was showing me how to play guitar, and that continued for the next 15 years. And when you play in a band with someone so good, it's easy just to kind of play along and not have to carry it yourself. And so it's been a really interesting process learning how to, like, you know, really get good at it and carry a song on your own. It's something I've never had to do. And it's funny, I'm going to give you one guess to the person who has been helping me learn how to do that on my own.
One guess.
I'm giving you one.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely like via FaceTime or Zoom or something like that.
Well, I'll give you a hint. I was just talking about him.
Right. I'm going to go with Nixon.
Yes.
You see, this is the thing.
So,
I've got my West Coast eyes on, so I'm going to analyze everything beyond necessary. So thank you for bearing with me. Back to you. Yeah.
Perfect. Is this a thing that we smoke doobies on? Is that the vibe?
This is just kind of what I do. I'm at home, so there's no rules here. Like, yes, this is going live through the radio station, social media, but the internet is a different animal. And I thought, look, this is an open, honest situation. That's what I am, and it's something that I rely on quite a lot to unwind after work. Certainly not before I go on the air, but when it comes to my bachelor pad, before I go on the air is not a phrase that I use because I'm in my corner of my room on the internet, which is very different.
I love that so much. Not to be afraid to have a little fun and when you smoke a joint, you explore a different part of your brain.
Every show is a different corridor. Yeah.
And it takes some balls to do that in a public audience. So I appreciate that. I might join you in a bit if this goes well.
Fantastic. So, Menno, and welcome. Hello to Debbie. Debbie says, true words, we are never done with growth. Bill says hello to both of us. Katie's here as well. Amy's got the kids on the couch, the animals on the laps, and they're watching as well. Shell, you have one of those. That was about 6 minutes ago. What were we talking about? A guitar? I'm going to go with guitar. It could be anything. Hello as well to Ian. Thank you for being here. So I had a little adorable picture up of the Colorado crew, which I found on the band account's Instagram from like 8 years ago, earlier today. It's the adorable one in front of that. Like, it's all like Polaroid pictures, the four squares next to each other, and with that dodgy looking wallpaper behind it. That's the picture that the graphic I had up when you started talking about Nixon.
Oh, wow. That is our first ever band photo. That's before we even took a band photo together. That was like, does it have our names written under each of us?
In Sharpie, yeah.
Yeah, in Sharpie. That photo, wow. Good description, because I'm not watching, I tried to figure out a way I could watch this and at the same time, but I couldn't figure it out. So I'm just going to count on you to give me accurate descriptions of all the crazy shit you're posting. Is that cool?
Yes, I am very detailed. You know this will go down very well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's literally the first ever band picture we did. That must have been 2006. We might have even been named a different band at that point. Colorado started. We played one show as Galactonaut.
Galactonaut.
Yeah, that's when we were like real stoners, and we were like, well, we got to be a little bit less stoners and make a band. But Galactonaut was we did one show in Ottawa as that, and that was in 2006. And I think that's when that photo is from.
It's adorable. I love the haircut. For some reason, though, whoever took your picture, there's like zero headspace, maybe an inch at the top of the Polaroid frame for everyone else. And for you, there's 2 feet. You look like you're 4 foot tall. Is that on purpose? What?
No, nothing Colorado ever did was on purpose.
No, nothing to create smiles. No.
So it all just kind of happened. Yeah, geez, what a blur, eh?
Yeah, it's bonkers actually, because it's my 10th year here now. It's June the 6th is when I moved to Canada 10 years ago. And so when I was looking through all these pictures, like the next one I'll put up that you can't see is October no, let's not go with that one yet. I've got 52 different layers here. So Colorado,
okay, yep.
Colorado and the family. Remember when in the Victoria Dance Studio underneath the radio station, this is in 2013, March 2013, we did that
I'm
meet
going to
and
know the
greet.
photo. I'm going to know the photo. Am I holding a pug over my head?
Yes, that's one of the 5 I had from this day.
Go put that one up then if I guessed it.
That's up. Yeah, I was flicking through them, and then as soon as you said that, that's the one that we lie on now. You look so happy. A photo by Tyson Elder. And that was because back in... I'm not going to tell it. You tell it. That's why I rang you up. What do you remember from that day?
I mean, we've always had funny stories from Victoria. It has a really great spot in our heart because it's always mid-tour, right? Because we started in Toronto, or I mean, back then, I think we were probably starting in Montreal. When you start that tour and you travel across the country, and sometimes you backtrack a bit, and then sometimes you play 4 shows in Ontario, and you dip into the States. And by the time you get to Victoria, the only place to go is home. But everyone is sick of each other by then. And Colorado was best friends in the absolute world. Like we are still a total family. We still text each other every day and hang out and do music and do different things together. But that doesn't mean we didn't go through a whole bunch of bullshit. And when you're halfway through a tour, at the start of your career, and you're not making any money, and you're working hard every night, and everyone's tired out and hungover, and Victoria has seemed to be the setting of many good classic band fights. It's just kind of halfway when everyone's had enough and it's time to turn home, but then you have to do that whole thing again. Yeah. And I remember that day was like, oh, we're playing Victoria. Like, I hope we don't have a band fight, because we've had some good ones there. I'll get into it if you want. Well, actually, probably shouldn't. But
whatever you're comfortable with.
Well, you know what? I'm comfortable with that bar, Lucky Bar.
Yeah.
Love that place. That's where a lot of bands play on their first show in Victoria. Is it still there?
Still going. I mean, not right now, but it's a staple. Yeah, it's a staple.
So that's when you're a starting band and you're playing clubs that size. That is one of the only clubs in Canada that is that size. What is it? 250, 200 or something like that?
No, it's. I think its cap is 190.
Yeah, so even less. So when you're doing those kind of clubs across the country, absolutely zero of them have a washing machine. It's not a thing. They don't have a washer and dryer. I mean, some of them do, but they don't let shitty band opening for someone use it. But Lucky Bar is always super cool about oh, band, you're showing up, you must need laundry. So there'll be a tour of 3 bands that aren't playing big venues, and you show up at Lucky Bar, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, does anyone have laundry that needs to be done? And you're halfway through the country, you're like, yeah, all of us have been wearing the same underwear 5 times. There's one washing machine, and that is the source of so many band fights, because there's only so much time. If you have 3 bands on tour, then do the math, it's 15 people who want to do laundry, and everything you own is filthy at that point. You're like, I just want to do some, but you want to do all your laundry. So all 15 band members can't do laundry. So you have to negotiate who's going to do it. And then band fights ensue because of that washing machine. So
I thought this was going to lead us in a good direction, but I've been caught off guard. How do you then do what? Rock, paper, scissors for who puts the underwear in first, or what?
You just kind of go. It's if you've been there before, you just know, you arrive, and then, you arrive at a venue, the load-in time, and then if it's Lucky Bar and it's your 3rd time there, and you're a starting band, you've been doing this for a couple of years, you just grab your suitcase, and you don't grab one piece of gear, and you just rush to the back, and you go right to the washing machine.
Yeah.
And 3 other band members have done the same thing. You're like, I'm first. And then there's one person who's like, I was loading the gear. I didn't get a chance to do laundry. Can I put some stuff in with yours? Like, it's full. And it's just the stupidest little things are what can cause a great band fight. So it was a real nice change of pace when we could show up at that beautiful ballet studio, and you guys had an incredible spread of food for us. And you had filled our rider thing, which we didn't get it at that point from all the clubs we played, which we asked for clean socks and underwear on our rider, but you get it sometimes. But you guys had actually gotten us a rider, and there was nice clean socks and underwear, and everyone was happy because they're like, oh, okay, it doesn't even matter about laundry. I got 4 free pairs right now, and they're all brand new. And then we played a great show in a weird ballet studio, and then someone brought a dog, and everyone was just like, hey, maybe we just made it. Maybe this is success. We just got to Victoria. We got clean underwear, and we didn't even have to do laundry. and we got this dog to hang out with, we've made it. So that's why that photo looks like there's happy looks on all of our faces. I mean, I can't see it right now, but is there happy looks on all of our faces?
Oh yeah, no, you especially in the picture with you and the dog. It's like it's your firstborn, and you've just witnessed an amazing thing, and you've lifted that baby. It's Lion King-esque. It really is. You
So
look
grody.
so happy.
Love it.
It's one of those happy faces when your eyes are slammed shut and there's 58 rows of wrinkles within the eyelid. That's the excitement and the exuberance of the moment. As I said, detailed explanations of these photos for you, Menno. I do what I can. So
thank you.
I've actually also got that Colorado tour rider image from that 2013 tour as well. It's absolutely colossal. And I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger here to read. Nacho chips, organic, no Tostitos, cheese.
Do we see? Oh, it has the no Tostitos on there.
Yeah, no Tostitos on there.
Yeah, that's a funny one. We took that off after we got this sponsorship offer from Tostitos. Like they'd never seen that. And
you're kidding.
Oh yeah, no joke. Like they never. Thank God they never seen it. But we played this show at South by Southwest, and Tostitos like sponsored us. And we're like, destroy all copies of the No Tostitos rider.
Oh gosh, that's so good, and it's the first one. It's the first line. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's 28 lines worth of step-by-steps here. The 4 pairs of socks and briefs, the penultimate last pairing of requests.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
And you guys, I seem to recall that at that one we all had our own. It was like 4 packs. Like you gave us all. Like it wasn't just some places they would do like 4 packs of each, and we'd each get one, and that would happen once in a while. But you got that radio station money kicking in, and we had a history, and we each got our own like 4 pack of socks and underwear.
Living the high life. Yeah, some of those Jim Patterson socks, fresh off the Save on Foods shelf and into your wardrobe. I don't know where we got them from. It's actually
what's Jim Patterson socks?
Oh, I'm presuming Jim Patterson owns the radio station, right? And he owns most of everything. So surely he makes socks.
Perfect. Oh, did we just get Colorado banned forever for me not knowing who Jim Patterson is?
No, not at all. That's okay. He's not he's not one of those owners. He's a very quiet guy, and I say that because I very seldom see him.
Well, Jim, thank you very much for the socks.
It's all our own budget, actually. The obviously, which comes from a variety of business techniques. But the interesting thing that I will share is what's fascinating for me is, and this is how Jim's got to where he is and built this empire, is that he owns pretty much all the car lots, all the signage throughout BC, and certainly on the island here. A lot in Victoria he owns, but there are staff deals. But there's no business deals. Like you can't go to him. I could go to a Toyota Jim Patterson garage and I could save. I don't know if I don't know. I've never bought a car there, but I'm told there's a certain percentage you could save. Let's say 5 to 10% or something. I don't know. That seems a bit much for savings on a car, but I don't know. But if you were as a radio station, if you're going to them and trying to do a lease for the vehicle for the radio station, then that is like any other company would do it. There's no deals, and that's how he makes sure that all these companies. So like if we're giving away Save on Foods macaroni and cheese, the store manager in his budget might make a cut, but there's no overall company you must help. We all work. Business is business.
Huh.
As far as I know. And I'm just people just try and sell commercials off the back of the really great educated content I produce in these moments. Anyway, but that's why this is a different show to the radio. So Menno,
I love it.
Carry on.
I just like being able to talk honestly. It's fun. It's rare that you can do that on the radio. You always kind of got to hold your tongue a little bit about stuff, and it's nice to be on a weird bedroom podcast.
Yeah, it's just more natural. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you think over the years, like The Zone is a station that's always been it's been fantastic in the sense that if an interview is going great, like the boss man's like, keep going, man. If it's great content, keep going. But there are stations where they say you've got 4 minutes and then that's got to be chopped into 2 minutes. And how are you going to communicate with a band of 4 or 5 or even 1? So what I love about this is that on the air, it's not like I'm a shock jock, and you know that, but it's certainly it's mega refreshing compared to, okay, we've got 5 minutes, we've got 4 to 7 minutes max, and that includes the song. Like, so now, all right, well, we've got 20 minutes to flesh something out, and that means that what would be counted as a waste of time and potentially risky, just even mentioning the guy that owns your station, which is not risky at all. It's not at all, because I'm not saying anything bad, but it's just like that would be deemed
you're as good as fired.
Yeah, sure. But, it would just be like, why are you talking about that? Talk about the band, right? We've got time here is what I'm saying. Yeah. With that, I'm just going to double check because there's some wonderful, because obviously I'm going to get onto the newer projects. So that it makes sense to go through the other Colorado stuff. I've got the last show, October the 19th, 2019 at the Capitol Ballroom, which you have played many times prior. One of my favorite gigs, actually, right when I first came here. And I just got hired at the station. I don't have any pictures for this, but I just got hired at the station. And Paul Pistino, who you know, and he absolutely loves you guys. Mm-hmm. And he was the first guy at the radio station that was like, well, Paul passionately shouts a lot. And he was like, Colorado, everyone, record in the bag, best flipping band. I'm going to keep shouting. And he's pretty much the number one reason why why Colorado was played an awful lot in the evening zone, which he was in at the time, and then he moved into the midday when I moved in, and that was one of my first Rifflandias. And I remember Paul, we were in Market Square, and Paul was like, right, I'm out of here, not missing Colorado, screw this, and he just starts running with his girlfriend at the time, and I was with some other people that I didn't really know, and I was like, where are we going? Like, we're running in the rain for a really important band. I'm like, okay, well, that seems important. And it was for your band, and we get there and it's packed, and it was just insanely fun. And every show that it was at Sugar Nightclub, which became Capitol Ballroom, and that's what sparked my memory.
Okay.
Because every show you did in that space was so special. And then also, because then I'm going to let you speak for 5-6 minutes here, so I'm just going to set up these three, this triangle, this trifecta of gig, to then let you explain I'm just clearing some cat hair off of my mic here. Feel like
I think I'm better with one question at a time, but let's go.
No, it's the same one. 3-pronged question.
Okay.
Sugar Nightclub, Rifflandia gig, many years ago. Skip forward 5 years. Rifflandia, robes, hotel, tent. Rifflandia in a park. Skip forward to October the 19th, 2019, last ever Colorado show at what is now Capitol Ballroom, previously Sugar Nightclub. That's your trifecta, because you went from Rifflandia to Rifflandia in a robe to Capitol Ballroom, changing its name, but back in robes. Over to you, Menno.
I mean, you kind of summed it up. I'm just going to call spade a spade here. I think that Capitol Ballroom should try to sound like a better room. It's one of the loudest rooms in the country, and it can be good, but it forces you to play a certain type of show where you deliver energy. It's a loud, resonating room. It's a hard room to play in. It's a hard room to play in sonically, but the crowds are always so good that if you deliver them something visually, that you can kind of get past the sonic boomness of it. So, I mean, our first one there, I think that was on the tour with Pup. And I remember that being a really monumental show, because it was one of our first tours where we were graduating to bigger rooms, not just small clubs. And Victoria, and I'm going to actually give your station the credit here. I think that's the reason we were able to, pack a room like that, is because you guys are such early supporters. So it was one of those ones where it was just okay, now it's really happening. And the room was full and people were going nuts. And even though it sounded like absolute shit, it was just an incredibly, incredibly fun time. And I can't remember that first one, but did we wear some kind of crazy costume or something? I don't think so.
No, you were just Adidas casual rock stars.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
full on,
doing
not full on suits. Like, look at that, we've got $300 for a suit now. Like early Adidas casual rock stars. Yeah.
right, exactly. And then fast forward to that Rifflandia show, which I remember very clearly. That was fun because that was the first time that we were able to afford hotels. Rifflandia pays you a fair amount, which is nice. You know, I love it when a festival starts bringing in bands and, you know, a young band. And we were still a young band at that point, and they decided, like, okay, we want to give them a fair amount. And Nick and Jake's aunt is a manager at the Delta Hotel, like the really nice one. You know, the one like it's in Victoria, that Delta.
Yeah,
what they
absolutely.
call it, the Delta. It's got a name. It's like the Delta Coronation or something like Grand, whatever it's called.
The Delta Spend a Grand a night. I don't know what they call it. It's welcome to the Delta Spend a Grand a night.
So it's a very nice hotel, and like we were just being able to afford, like that tour, we were being able to afford hotels instead of people's floors. So we were doing like, you know, we would spend money for like the Motel 6 or the Red Roof Inn or like the Best Western but the shitty one. But because of the fact that Nick and Jake's aunt is the manager there, we got like the family deal at that hotel, which made it affordable for us. And we had a day off for the festival and then the festival day. So we had 2 nights there, and like I won't say the amount because I don't want to get her in trouble or anything, but she gave us like a totally affordable deal for a beautiful hotel that we could never afford. And we were just loving it. And she gave us access to like the club lounge.
Yeah.
Which you know, you get to go in, eat food and drink beers and hang out. So after doing that for a bit, we went back to our rooms, and we all realized that every room had a couple of robes in it. And then we're like, wow, we're never going to get access to these nice, like they were shower robes. And then we're like, oh, we're playing our festival tomorrow. Like, we got to wear these robes. And I think we just spent the next 24 hours in the club lounge. And then by the time it came to play the show, we were 100% certain that the way we should do it was in these robes that we were so comfy in. So we basically just showed up in those robes and played a gig, and it was very weird and very comfortable, and you know, it's a good time.
I know I've heard that story from you a few times, but there are a few people in the comments that were encouraging it. And so good evening to Paolo, and also to Catherine and to Sarah, Mishi, Stephanie, Yasmin, Wendy, Kale. Kale saying that unreal moments and memories of Colorado at Tall Tree Music Festival over the years. Good evening to you, Kale.
Hi.
That's a whole
hi,
different,
all those people.
Whole different animal going onto that Tall Tree Mountain. But thank you so much for... because where would you want to start with that?
Tall Tree? Oh my God, that's just like if I told any stories from that, I would literally have the RCMP showing up at my door.
Well, they can't drive that far right now, so I mean, unless they ring it in,
Yeah, no. I've seen so many bands fall down the stairs that they put everyone up in a band house, and that is a cool festival, and it's out of the way, and I won't get into too many details about that festival, but Jesus, it's great.
Well, Kale's opened look, I'm going to share one quick story about Tall Tree for me, and I just was telling someone this a few days ago, actually. Is the first Tall Tree that I went to, I knew it was going to be hot. I didn't know it was going to be that hot. I knew that you'd need to have, lots of water and be smart in that regard because it's going to be really hot. And I, for some reason, when we all went to Costco on the drive up, and I was being driven up by the morning show, Dylan Willows, because we had a big radio station RV, and a bunch of us had, we were staying in that and had a little camp that we'd tent out around it. Well, he was staying in that. The midday show doesn't get the RV, okay? Here's the thing. You can get a ride in the RV. You don't get to sleep in the RV, okay? Anyway, no, that's not at all. It's not. Anyway. I decided when I was really stoned that when we were getting groceries for the weekend, I walked around Costco and I bought a bunch of those water biscuits and a slab of cheese. And I was walking around Costco eating biscuits and cheese. Like, this is great. I'll just buy some cucumber and I'll slice the cucumber to put on this when I get there. And I'm good for 2 days. Tall Tree, everything's fine.
No problem.
Skip forward 24 hours. I'm sat outside the RV going, I don't know why all I ate was cheese. I don't know why all I've eaten is water biscuits and cheese. And Dylan stood over me going, can I introduce you to Sambuca? Have you ever had Sam? He doesn't sound like that.
Oh no.
And I was like, no, I'm not trying this now. And so I had, that was my start of Tawtry, having a great time at all the shows. And then the next day being like, why did you only eat water biscuits and cheese? Bad idea. Very bad.
Well, I actually think that's actually a great idea. If so, you're camping, right?
Yeah.
That one, or you're in the RV? Yeah.
I'm
so
camping.
If you're camping if you're camping then, and you have to use the festival porta potties there, I think actually eating a lot of cheese is probably a good idea. So you don't. Oh, I wish Dean was on this call right now because he has some stories about having to use that porta potty on the Sunday night, and like it's just hard to empty those. I get it. I'm not thinking Tawtry is one of my favorite festivals in North America. I have told a million bands go play Tawtry, but it must be hard to empty those porta potties because it's on the top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere, not even close to anything, and you're not getting trucks up there to empty those things. And by Sunday night, if you're playing a set and have to use one of those bathrooms that are on site, that's a porta potty, and there's thousands of people that have been cranking every drug on earth and drinking beers all weekend. That porta potty is one of the most disgusting things you've ever seen in your goddamn life.
Yeah.
And it's above the brim. You have to like stand on it. Anyway, that's Dean's. Sorry, I won't ruin it for when.
No, yes, absolutely. Crap Hour featuring Dean, a title to work on. But the thing is now all I'm thinking, okay, yes, Michaela, we're going to water crackers and cheese. Wendy says, yeah, colon blockage. Yeah. Slow down, Wendy. I think we're going to slow the conversation up quite a bit. Hello, Erin, as well, and Andrea. Let's move away from that.
Okay, good idea. That's why you're the host and I'm the guest.
And let's talk about Mav Carlo.
Okay.
So I've got the graphic up there of that wonderful graphic with your recorder, your little guitar, banjo, and you just that basic setup of an Instagram. So, I would like to start by saying something that I meant to say at the start of this conversation half an hour ago. Is it Versteeg or Versteeg? I have never in 10 years attempted your surname, and that's rude of me.
I mean, that's fine. Like, my name is, like, it's not a common one. My first name, I've got to the point where I don't care how people say it at all. You know, I just don't. Like, fine. Like, I'm, like, it's said, there's not even a right way to say it. My friends say Menno, but I get Mino, Momo, Mano, everything you can imagine. And, like, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. They just don't care how you say it. I guess as long as I get the point, then that's cool.
Yeah.
And then the last name I never even bother with because people have enough trouble with the first name. So don't even worry about it.
Oh, come on. I've got Menno though, right? Menno, I've been saying correctly for years. Yeah. Give me a chance. Give me one chance.
Did that come? I know that didn't come off jerky.
Little bit. Give me a chance. Just give me one go.
No. And then the last name, like I say Versteeg, but like my Dutch relatives who live in Holland say Versteeg, and has like a they're like choking on a thing sound. But that's actually the proper way to say it. But I would never say it that way because I don't like speak that language. And it would sound weird if when your friend like goes on vacation to Brazil and then they come back and they're like, oh, how was your trip? And they're like, oh, Brazil was amazing. And you're like, oh, like you're like, but that's not how you would say it. So I say it the way that the people I know would say it. So that's Versteeg.
Okay, so firstly, what I want to say before I let you tell us about this new project is I'd like to say thank you for being so open and honest in sharing the root and the foundation of why and how this came to be a project and an outlet for you in the first place. And with that, I would love to just know, okay, so we're talking names right now. Where does this name come from? And for those that aren't aware of this new project and its birthplace, over to you, sir, please.
I mean, basically, Colorado like had run its course, and we all agreed that it was like time to move on to other things, and we're all doing other things. I don't want to downplay the end of Colorado, because we're all best buds in the world, but we all wanted to do other things, express yourself in another way. If you're writing like, I've been writing songs that are like a little more, intimate and I don't know the words to explain it really, but a little more personal, a little more intimate. And I wanted an outlet for those songs. So I started a thing. It's like super cliche, like singer makes like solo project. But that being said, like a lot of the songs on the record that's about to come out, like both Jake and Dean helped on, and Nick helped a lot. Like, so the thing that's out now is this record that I made in Reno. I went to Reno over Christmas. I brought a 4-track, and I just wanted to like go to like a really weird place away from everyone, and just kind of experience a weird part of America during Christmas. So I got a hotel room in a casino in Reno, and I brought a 4-track and a nylon string guitar, and I wrote a bunch of songs. So that's the first album that's out now, the Reno Tapes one. I have another album that's going to come out in October. That is more like a proper album. It's going to sound like something that you guys might play on the radio. It's weird to talk about a thing that's just your thing, as opposed to like talking about a band where it's a bunch of dudes doing silly stuff all the time. This is a lot more personal and a lot more lyrical, and I don't really know what to say unless you ask a good question about it.
Well, this is the thing, and you were saying it right there. It's a whole new situation, and it's a whole new journey for you to navigate now, because you're going to go through moments where you're like, oh, like you were saying earlier, like, did that come off crass? Did I sound like a jerk? Like, I can already hear there's going to be that insular part of you that starts questioning and editing yourself a little bit more, going, well, is this relevant? Do they care about that? Does it matter? What I will say is, for me, I adore the detail. I love knowing. I believe in the more that we know about each other, as much as we are willing to open, you haven't got to share everything, but the more open and the more communicative we are together, the stronger we'll be from that. And what I love about broadcasting is finding that detail on the song. So, okay, why were they in the robes, and why do they want these dogs? And I didn't know they fight that much over the one washing machine in Lucky Bar. And so with Mav Carlo, it is going to be interesting, because that's why I said thank you to start this whole chat off on this new project, because it's not a side of you that I have seen. And that's only been because we have fleeting hangouts. I mean, the longest hangout we had that was the best one was on Main Island. And I know Lindsay Bryan is watching. Hello to her father and the wonderful people on Main Island. And so we had that weekend, and you were very welcoming to me. And that's when I felt like several years ago made the friendships that we now have, and why you've come on this show-ish thing, which I appreciate. And so what I want to say is, you share what you're comfortable doing in this moment and nothing more. And I've been playing samples of the Mav Carlo stuff and saying, this is what Menno's up to. So sorry, it's already been on the radio. And I'm intrigued. A question that popped into my mind when you were saying about, okay, you're staying in a casino and you're staying like a motel casino in what part of America again?
In Reno.
In Reno,
Nevada. Like, yeah, it's like Vegas's like shitty stepbrother.
Did you ever have anyone come up to you and say like, yo, Canadian dude, what are you doing here over Christmas by yourself? Or did you just completely shut yourself off?
No, I was in the hotel room, like mostly just writing songs, and then like I would go to walk around and just get the stories to write about, and I just wanted to see that part of America. I saw some like really kind of great things in the most depressing way. Like I saw two Santas beat the shit out of each other on Christmas Eve over a slice of pizza. That's a longer story, but yeah,
bad
that was pretty
Santa.
Good. And then I saw, there was two Santas who worked at the casino, I think. And then I saw like a lot of, on Christmas Day, you walk around the casino in Reno and you see like a lot of dads with their kid who's got custody at the slot machine, being like, all right, son, here's a secret. Like when you go down, and like the kid's like right there, and dad's drinking beer, and like when you go down, it gets down low. That's when you got to double down. Like that's when you're gonna win. And you just like you see that, and it's good inspiration for songs. Like one of the songs on that record is called "Stop Having Kids," and it's about that guy.
Boom.
But
that's what I'm looking for.
I wanted to find, I wanted to find positivity in the hard things, and that was the point of going there, just to like, conquer a few of my own demons, and find some positive moments, find the beauty in that, and that record I think captures it at moments, but I can't wait till everyone hears the next one coming out, because I think it does a better job of it.
Yeah, this is a surprise to me. When you were saying, when we were texting the other day about a record, I presume we were still talking about this one. So this is one that you've created back in Canada then, in Toronto?
No, like, I mean, I wrote it in Toronto mostly, but I went to LA to Sunset Sound. I worked with so I made demos with Nick, and he helped me like some of the writing on different parts, and then I had like a song file of demos, whatever you call it, SoundCloud, and I sent them to some of my favorite producers, and just total cold call, ones I hadn't even worked with Royal Mountain. So this one producer in particular, Chris Cody, who he made my favorite album of the last few years, this album by Eamon Dunes. But he also made like Beach House, and he made like Yeah Yeah Yeahs, a lot of really great sounding records that really get to the heart of a song. But I'd never met him, so I just totally cold called him and sent him the demos. And he wrote me back immediately, and he's like, I'm at Sunset Sound in LA. I got some time, like just get over here and we'll make the songs. And so I went over there right away and started making the songs with him, and just loved how they turned out. So that's this next record, the proper one.
That's exciting, man. Sweet. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't even announced it yet, but I will on your show. The album's called Strangers Like Us, and it's going to come out sometime in October. We're about to set a release date, and it will be. I literally announcing it for the first time ever right now.
Wow, that's sweet. And I didn't even get you to get West Coast eyes or East Coast eyes or any kind of eyes. You just used the ones you had and said it.
Yeah, there you go. So whatever. So it's happening. So
that's awesome, man. And I feel like. Yeah, no, I don't want to drive anything out of you that you don't want to say, and I think that what we need to get out of Mav Carlo there, we have really. I mean, I think it's one thing that I did kind of want to ask. That's it. Yes, as you start saying other words to try and move on, your brain's like, no, that was the sentence I flagged 5 minutes ago. Was this one? Was for me something that I do. So I don't think we've ever spoken about this, and glossing through it, it might seem very traumatic, but I'm the happiest and the most in love with myself I've ever been. But in case you weren't aware, I was sexually abused and near drowned when I was as a kid by strangers, and then diagnosed as bipolar when I moved here when I was 24. And so something that, and that's important context, because I don't like these interviews where someone just says, well, if you're upset, then you should tell us because you're on CNN, honey, or whatever. I don't know, or whatever these chat. I don't know why I said CNN. It's not a chat show at all, is it?
Well,
I'm making a face at the camera. I guess my subconscious felt I had to say that. I'm not a Fox guy. I'm not a Fox guy. That's an important follow-up. Yep. I keep an eye out. I work in media. Let's not get caught up in that crap.
No, definitely not.
Something that I have found that helps me tenfold, and I was doing earlier today, right before you called me, because I just had a very difficult day. There are some listeners that are people that I've known for years that are very emotional, and I pick up on energies tenfold. And if I know that you're upset and I've got a genuine connection with you, I'm upset as well. I can feel it. And there's this listener that I've been talking with for years, and he's having a hard time, and he was having a hard time today. And so I came home and was like, I need to ground myself. I need to get out. I need to get positive here. And you can't just suddenly flick a switch. But here's my point. I've had a little notebook that for the last 10 years, I have written down, okay, so let's say tonight, for example, Menno comes on and gives the little world exclusive of his next record. That's going in the book. And I'm going to timestamp it and date it. And I'm going to put that little PNG picture of you. I'm going to cut that out and stick it in there. And then when I'm having a bad day, I'm going to go back and flick through all these great positive moments. And that's how I'm going to not necessarily lift the doom and gloom away. You can't do that, but help keep the positive mindset at the forefront of the mind and not the negative. And my question is this, with that elaborate setup that is so crucial, is from your time away, because let's be frank here, you went over Christmas and there was clearly a reason why you had to make this big step to go and get a bit of grounding and work on Menno and improve guitar work. As we, from those joining, Menno's been working on his guitar work, something we covered right back at the start of this. There were reasons why you went. Now that you're back, what is one thing that you've learned that now you can initiate every day to help you in those moments of vulnerability or feeling down?
Wow, you're really getting to the point, eh, John? As you do.
And you can answer or you don't have to. It's all about comfort, man.
No,
all about comfort.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, like I've been dealing with a lot of the same things you have, and being able to face the worst and learn a strength in yourself. That is that was the point of going there. You know, when things get bad, I just wanted to make them the worst they could be, and see if I could be strong enough to deal with them. And the thing I learned is that I was, not like. I'm a little uncomfortable talking about this in a public forum, but I'm also okay with it because it's important. That you know, we all have our issues, and being able to sit down by myself and focus on music and as something that can give you strength, and then from that you get strength for yourself. Is very, very, very important. And everyone that I know that has to deal with these kind of things that you and I are talking about, that has gotten through it, they found a thing that gives them positive feedback, where they can believe that their faults are okay, and that's what makes someone special, and that's what makes someone great, is being able to embrace your faults and try to Sorry, I just got cut off. Someone called me.
Oh gosh.
I declined it.
Gosh, that scared me.
Mid monologue, right?
Oof.
But yeah, just embracing those things and finding the strength from them. So that's what I got from those Reno things, and just being able to make music continuously. And I feel like that's what you're getting from being able to do radio and this
very show, this very Bachelor Pad show, man. I would go. Thank you, and I love you first and foremost. Thank you for sharing that, and that's huge, and I really appreciate it. And
right on.
That's why this corner exists, man. And I'm so fortunate I'm able to go out to the radio station. It's just the DJs. That's all it's been for 6 weeks, and it's incredibly lonely. But the 7 of us are really, really tight, even tighter than before because of this. And I don't get much light in my apartment. I live in a bachelor pad on the ground floor downtown in Victoria. In the last 6 years since I bought it, there's now 3 17+ stories around me that mean that I don't get any light. And if I sat in my little room, as much as I love my cats and my record collection and my books, and me, it just wouldn't be healthy. So that's why I built this little corner, and then thought, well, the best thing I can do right now is connect. And so that's where this whole idea came from, to connect with listeners and to connect with genuine friendships that I've made. I'm not going to go and try and get someone on this that I don't know. It would be interesting, but it wouldn't be the kind of natural conversation that I think we need right now, which is just grounding, normal conversation. And that's why this exists. You've really opened me up. I wasn't sure how much I wanted to really let loose about what I'm truly feeling. So I appreciate you
getting me there and doing this. And yeah, we've known each other for years. You're doing a great thing.
Thanks, man.
So,
And look, the last thing I'll say about that is that this is an ever ongoing evolution of oneself. And that is so easy to say now that I've spent over 25 years finally getting to being able to confidently say, I flipping love myself. But it's so imperative to remember all the small positives, whether it's just getting out of bed when you set your alarm at 7 o'clock and actually rolling out of it by 7:05 to go to the bathroom,
doing it.
right?
and actually doing it. Oh my God, it's amazing, right?
If you collect down all those small victories, then when that one thing, like that one argument over the band needing to get all their socks done before they got given the socks on tour at Lucky Bar, that argument might not be as prominent in your mind at the end of the day, because you'll go, oh, look at all these great things I did. We had a little argument there. Oh, it's part of life. But look at all these great things that are also part of life that now all of a sudden seem even better. Anyway, thank you for that.
1,000,000%. And I want to say that post you made where you cut your hair and shave your beard, I just it really resonated with me. Really, really resonated with me as a person just embracing themselves. And God damn it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Well, look, you've been. I'm gonna. Can I? I know it's almost like midnight for you in Toronto. Is 5 more minutes okay? Because I want to get to Anyway Gang.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is
for
that
a second.
allowed?
Totally. Yeah, totally.
Okay, because I also have 7 different graphics. What I've got here that you can't see: Menno of Royal Mountain Records and Mav Carlo, Anyway Gang. You might recognize Colorado. I've got the jet. I've got the cat. I've got the the original OG shot of the 4 of you. That's up there. I've got that. But then what I've also got is a collection of the 3 guys separately, and they're simmering. Oh my goodness. This picture of Dave Monks is from his own Instagram. From the Anyway Gang music Instagram, and he's sort of cheekily lying back playing bass in his baseball cap and red sweater. He looks so handsome. And then there's Mr. Murphy. I've got him. He's huge, actually. I've made his graphic way too big. He takes up most of the screen right now. With those lovable glasses and King of the Birds t-shirt. Sam Roberts is probably going to replace me because I've got you and Dave to my left and Chris to my right. Sam does replace me, but that's not a bad thing because I feel like he's a more handsome version of me if I was older than him in a former life that was actually this one that is current reality. Actually, if I think I've done something to Sam, my Photoshop is not great. Let me just move this up here. Oh, I made a small mistake with the eraser tool where I seem to have written ugh across his vest, but that actually gives a perfect peepee hole for my eyes, and Sam's face is just going to be a little out of the shot right now. But Anyway Gang, the new video is incredible, and I've got all my graphics the wrong way here. You tell us about Anyway Gang, and I'm going to do some organization here. Over to you.
I mean, that's like one of the things that part of my thing is a lot of ideas, like it's part of this, and always trying to do stupid shit. And so I had this thought about doing Anyway Gang, which was just like some of my favorite songwriters getting together and just like jamming on some tunes and making some stuff. And when I called Sam, he was sitting in his bathtub and he's like, "You're crazy," but like, sure, and then, talk to Chris. He's like, "Well, you're crazy, but if Sam's involved, like, I'll do it." And I was like, "Oh, we can make something great." And then, Dave got involved too, basically the exact same way. And he's like, "Okay, yeah, what the hell, let's do this." And we just kind of wanted to see what would happen if a bunch of like friends from the road like got together and wrote some songs and sang them together. And that's what we did. And we had no stakes on it, which was really fun. There was like absolutely no pressure. It was just like, let's see what we can do as an exercise for ourselves, just working with some other people. And most of us as singers from a band, like, you would think didn't play well with others, but it was absolutely stunning how well we did play well with others. We all really respected each other's stuff, and every decision was kind of like just a yes. Like, "Oh, that's what you think? Yes. That's what you think? Yes." And it was an absolutely pleasurable process. And it's funny that like carefreeness and mutual respect and love for other people's music resulted in the first number one hit that I'd ever had. I think Sam's had some. Chris has never had one. Dave hasn't had one. So like we got like and that's so dumb to talk about a fucking number one hit. Fuck that shit. Total bullshit. But also like, but
you can
also,
be proud of it. You
yeah,
can be proud of it.
But also, fuck yeah, like that's funny. You know, that's a funny thing that happened. You know, you think about it, like, all of our bands have been about making music that we believe in and you know, something to say. And it really felt good when, you know, like that silly song about a crazy night made number one. And then all of a sudden it was a thing and like people wanted to hear it and whatever. We put out a record, but we're not taking it too seriously.
So, yeah, I mean, where are you at? Like, I guess it's just sort of, is it again, it's a sort of thing that you can share or not share about, because the music world is very strange right now. Everything that you might have had planned is being rearranged or stopped.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we're all very, very busy with our other bands, but now we're not. But also, it's impossible to plan for anything. So we were going to do a few shows this fall. Well, we had some booked for June actually that we canceled, and now we're thinking about this fall. But who knows if that's going to happen? So we had this amazing video that Ann Duras made, who's a longtime collaborator of well, a lot of people, but me especially. Her and I have done a lot of work together. And she's an incredible everything animator, designer of sets. She's a songwriter. She does all. She's like a real Renaissance woman.
She's unreal, man. She is literally every creative angle. She doesn't just do it. She does it distinctly with her own style, and it's also so vibrant, so colorful, and it hooks you. She is a real talent.
Unbelievable. And so when she made this video, we're like, this is amazing. So we were going to announce it with a bunch of tour dates, but tour dates aren't happening. So we decided to just put it out, even in this like weird coronavirus time, even though the message is so dark. But we hope the message is positive, you know. Also, that like the thing we've been saying is that this coronavirus thing is like Mother Nature's way of sending humanity to its room for a little bit to think about what it's done. And hopefully we do, you know, and come out of this with a better, fresher perspective about how things need to be. Anyway, Anne made a great video that kind of captured the worst case scenario, which if we aren't careful, the worst case scenario will be the scenario. So.
Yeah, very poignant, and very, very good and must watch. So everyone that's commenting right now saying, big night, yeah, love these graphics and lol, nice pouts. And I was at the very start of that story, I was doing my impression of a Sam Roberts pout. It's very, very, very hard to nail, And if ever I get on SNL, it's because I successfully did that in audition. Anyway, welcome to as well, Jessica and Aaron and Zia. Yeah, apparently people did not, lots of you saw the pout. I didn't realize it would be so impressive. Thank you, everyone. It's because I just follow a lot of Kardashians on it. I don't follow any of them.
No, I'm sure you don't.
No. Let's stay positive.
Hey, where can I listen to how dumb I sounded on this?
It all goes onto YouTube. So tomorrow I'll edit it all up into the sections of talking about Mav Carlo or this or that, and then I'll text you to tomorrow so you can check it all out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's 12:12 here.
Yeah, no, I got to let you go to bed, man. You got a flipping family and friends that are trying to call you during the interview. That was I wonder who was trying to call you. Were you like call me at 38 minutes?
It was actually Gus Van Gogh, who produced the Anyway Gang album and most of the Colorado albums. He's one of my dearest friends, lives in New York.
Yeah.
We've been talking about some other stuff that he's going to make. He's just an absolutely incredible person and producer. And he was calling me about some stuff like that.
Lovely. Well, my last comment to you is a little bit of homework is to, if you haven't already been familiarized, is that a word? I feel like it is. Confidence will sell it. Familiarized with Carmanah. Carmanah are a stunning band, one of the island's finest, and they actually recorded with Gus not too long ago, and his work is exceptional. And yes, Carmanah, if you just say, I'm pretty sure, just say thank you from me. He won't know who the hell I am, but just say that Carmanah, that's a record you should check out, and just to thank him for his work, because he really did get the best out of them that they've ever produced in a studio.
Well, I'm going to call him back right after this, and then I'm going to bed.
It'd be awkward if it's not Carmanah and it was another local band, but I'm fairly certain at this point it is. Menno, I really, really appreciate your time, man. You've gone above and beyond, and I love you, and thank you for supplying the conversation that you did. And it's just a real treat to catch up with you, man.
Yeah, big time. You're one of the people I very much respect. How you're blazing a trail for yourself in in all the circumstance and doing your thing, and that you care about bands that are just doing their thing. So, thank you.
Together we're stronger, man. All right, you go and call Gus.
All right.
And I'll speak to you soon. I'll link you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye, Johnny.
Bye, Menno. Cheers,
Later.
mate.
Bye.
What a wonderful soul.